This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
Introduction. Drugs have been known to humanity for many years, but at the same time, not only adults have resorted to pleasure through illegal substances. Drug abuse and dependence on medication remain a severe problem for the adolescent segment of the population. Nevertheless, many families are convinced that this threat does not extend to their children and continues to ignore the qualitative change in the teenager's lifestyle, appearance, and social circle. Scientific research shows that the development factors for adolescent drug abuse are not limited to a set of 3 to 5 causes but are usually linked to the integration of destructive environmental conditions. This research essay is aimed at discussing the causes underlying teenage drug addiction. Reasons for adolescent addiction. There is a grave misconception among parents that if they do not tell their children about drugs as early as possible, they will ignore them in the future because they will remain unaware. In fact, this situation is not uncommon, and it is the lack of information from adults that often causes the first experience of drug use. On the other hand, adolescents often turn to psychoactive drugs in order to get relaxation, pleasure, and a state of euphoria. 46.4% of the adolescents in the sample offered to them had a history of drug use. This result makes it possible to understand how serious the problem of teenage drug addiction is. In general, it is worth pointing out that the pathological state's general development includes 3 categories: biological, social, and psychological. The biological factors include hereditary peculiarities of neurotransmitter exchange in the brain, which contribute to rapid addiction and rapid formation of attraction. At the same time, a considerable layer of factors is connected with the psychological features of the teenager's personality. Davila and Jonathan are convinced that child abuse and domestic violence are becoming a severe reason for a child to develop a drug use culture. While some researchers emphasize social factors, others conclude that statistical regularities depend on gender, ethnicity, and culture. Moreover, Spooner points out that there is no one-size-fits-all approach to explaining drug dependence, specifying that scientific results are influenced by sample bias. Ultimately, all the causes above, taken together, can lead to addiction. The structure of narcotic drugs used and their effect on conscious and motor activities can be considered one of the factors contributing to drug dependence. It is worth understanding that as long as heavy synthetic drugs cause radical degradation of consciousness, lungs, and legal drugs produce fewer tangible effects. Thus, some members of the teenage audience turn to lung drugs as they understand that they will not cause severe damage to their health. Another problem is an addiction to approved drugs, which, according to Charles Grassley, tended to rise sharply. Inadequate and unmeasured consumption of drugs can be a step towards the decision to use more substantial forms of drugs. Conclusion. In conclusion, it should be noted that adolescent drug addiction is a severe medical and social problem in modern society and has become an epidemic in recent decades. The causes of drug use at this age are threefold: biological, psychological, and social. Although much research has been done on this issue, each scientific intervention forms a specific sample that directly influences the outcome. Thus, it is only possible to generalize the study of general factors, but each case of drug dependence should be taken individually. This research paper on drug abuse in adolescents and its causes was written and submitted by a student just like you. The Ivy Panda Samples database hosts thousands of works similar to this one, on various subjects. Visit ivypanda.com to find what you are looking for.